All right, y'all, welcome back. Okay, we're going to continue in book 3 of Rousseau, and we'll start in chapter 12, How the Sovereign Authority Maintains Itself. And basically, just chapter 12, 13, and 14 are a case review, case study of the Roman Empire and how his sort of philosophy and ideas fit into the Roman Empire system. Uh, but we'll skip to chapter 15, deputies or representatives. He makes a point about money here, and he says that too much wealth leads to sort of lethargy and inattention. He says, quote, as soon as public service ceases to be the chief business of citizens, and they would rather serve with their money than with their persons, the state is not far from its fall. When it is necessary to march out to war, they pay troops and stay at home. When it is necessary to meet in council, they name deputies and stay at home. By reason of idleness and money, they end up having soldiers to enslave their country and representatives to sell it. So be careful of becoming too wealthy, he's saying. He, however, kind of foresees this like rural socialist utopia, which I don't know, seems pretty unrealistic. Um, Here he says, quote, it is through the hustle of commerce and arts, through the greedy self-interest of profit, and through softness and love of amenities that personal services are replaced by money payments. Men surrender a part of their profit in order to have time to increase them at leisure. Make gifts of money, and you will not be long without chains. The word finance is a slavish word, unknown in a city-state. In a country that is truly free, the citizens do everything with their own arms and nothing by means of money. So far from paying to be exempted from their duties, they would even pay for the privilege of fulfilling them themselves. So it's, man, I don't know, this like utopian vision of a currency free barter system. Like, come on, it's just not realistic, right? Rousseau also goes on and sort of despairs of the poorly informed or disinterested citizen. Excuse me. He says, in a well ordered city, every man flies to the assemblies. Under a bad government, no one cares to stir a step to get to them because no one is interested in what happens there. Because it is foreseen that the general will not prevail. And lastly, because domestic cares are all absorbing. Good laws lead to the making of better ones. Bad ones bring about worse. As soon as any man says of the affairs of the state, what does it matter to me? The state may be given up for lost. So, in modern political parlance, this concept is called political efficacy, right? And you have internal and external political efficacy. But this is just the idea that, like, your vote matters, your voice matters. You can make a difference in your society. And this is diminishing all over the Western world, which is concerning. And Rousseau points this out long before sort of Putnam and others were pointing it out in their social, what do you call it, the social group theory, like Bowling Alone and other books like that. So, yeah, really interesting point here he makes about, when the citizenry feels like they've lost any contact with the state, you've got a real problem. Rousseau also claims that laws are not binding without a final plebiscite, so he makes this point again that the citizens have to vote. He says sovereignty, for the same reason as makes it inalienable, cannot be represented. It lies essentially in the general will, and will does not admit of representation. It is either the same or other. There is no intermediate possibility. The deputies of the people, therefore, are not and cannot be its representatives. They are merely its stewards and can carry through no definitive act. Every law the people has not ratified in person is null and void, is in fact not law. So, you know, but we've talked about the difficulties of trying to have a true plebiscite. Anyway, my note here is what about foreign policy and diplomacy and war and national security? The people just can't know about everything. Rousseau also states that while the people cannot be legislatively represented, they should and can be represented by the executive. And then I didn't really have a lot of notes for chapters 16 through 18, so we'll move on to book 4, and I'll close down this lecture. Looks like we'll have maybe 2 more. All right, thanks so much for being here. Have a great day.